This is true. I did a fundraiser for a group that wanted to save glaciers. I know it's a stupid idea. Where are you going to save them? All right, they're pretty big. And it was an online fundraiser because I'm virtually funny and I have the surveys that back that up. But I said it's too hot for glaciers, and if you saw my last special, you probably remember I have a lot of great ideas on how to lower temperatures around the world, like convert to the metric system. When we convert to the metric system, temperatures will drop 50 degrees overnight. That's a fact. I know. And I know what you're thinking, sir. You're thinking, I don't want to convert to the metric system because then we'll have a bunch of metricans come into our land. Well, then you're a measurist and you need to chill off. Which is what my mom, Pat, always says to me because sometimes it gets too hot in the basement for me to sleep, but I didn't come here tonight to talk about Pat because she's not the boss of me anymore. Anyway, I told that story that I call the metric system, and this group canceled me for what I call the 50-50 rule, which is half of all people have a below average sense of humor. That's a mathematical fact. It's true. Somebody got offended because they were taking things literally instead of figuratively, and comedy is about looking at things from different perspectives. And if you don't see it from different perspectives, you're not going to get it. Plus, it's pretty unpatriotic because stand-up comedy is one of the true American art forms based on the knock-knock joke, which is the building block of comedy, which can only develop here in the United States thanks to freedom of expression and the right to privacy. You can't have a knock-knock joke in a dictatorship because they don't knock-knock. They just barge in and steal all your stuff and throw you in the slammer. But not in America. Here, knock-knock. Who's there? Bill. Bill who? Bill of Rights. Which is why I think they should teach comedy in schools, all right? It's so easy, the teachers would love it. You pop in a video, and if everyone's laughing except you need comedy recognition training. Who in their right minds would not want the schools to teach CRT? Everyone's getting offended at comedy these days. I'm really worried about those roast battles. They're gonna totally have to reinvent themselves, you know? Your mama is so big-boned that when she sits around the doctor's office, she should probably consider getting a cholesterol screening as well. She eats chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream until the cows come home, but it's dairy-free so the cows won't be exploited for their milk. The only thing bigger than your mama's stomach is her heart. I'm grateful knowing her and wish her nothing but positive health outcomes. I know somebody who recently changed their pronouns, which is great, much better than this other guy who recently changed his adjectives. He was pretty taciturn, but now he's all cantankerous. Some people change their nouns, yeah, because they want the junk by their junction to have a new function. You can't refer to different cultures or nationalities, so it's impossible to order a Black Russian at the club. Excuse me, bartender, I'd like a former Soviet Republic of African descent on the rocks, please. Speaking of Russians, I'm sure they're attacking somebody right now, but my main fear, my phobia du jour, is that they are still temporarily winning the cyber war because it's part of their cultural DNA. For hundreds of years, nobody could play piano better than the Russians. And then the keyboards adapted and everyone changed, except they were able to adapt faster and better than anyone. And plus, their names are all 16 digits long and impossible to pronounce. It's the perfect password. And Every country has their thing. Americans are into hot dogs and racing and being wasteful with stuff. And those things line up on the Venn diagram on competitive eating, which is why we're the best. Russians are into keyboards and being sneaky with stuff and global domination. And those things intersect on cyber warfare, which is why their politicians technologically are way ahead of ours. Remember, Hillary couldn't even figure out her email server, and before that, her husband's website was hacked. Remember that? AshleyMadison.com. Too soon on that one?